YouTube was good. Leekautorepair. So I got a headache. I got this Audi 2011 Audi A6, the 3.0 turbo. Well, 3.0 T. It's supercharged. I was gonna say turbo, but this one is supercharged quattro. And not that it makes a difference, but either way, I'm just stating that the engine I can't even say the words. I'm just stating the engine specifications. It's the only thing I'm doing. So this one, it started off with it needing a drive belt. The drive belt and this belt for the supercharger, both of them belts, they shredded and tore everything apart because of the harmonic balancer took a shit. And the harmonic balancer, literally, you could probably try to pull it off with your fingers. Just, it was wobbly, it was bad. I got another replacement from AutoZone. And on top of that, I got the belt from Audi, the belt for the supercharger, because there was an issue trying to get the correct belt at AutoZone. So I got the other accessory belt, but that belt seemed to be too short. So now I'm going to take that belt back. I'm going to go to AutoZone, and most likely I'm going to go to Audi and I'm going to get the correct belt, because I don't have time to be going back and forth for like parts or whatever. So I'm going to get the correct belt. So there's another issue where the cooling crossover pipe, that is cracked and common cause, obviously, when you Google it. So that got to get taken off. So I want to put the front end into service mode, and some people going to have questions on how to get it into the service mode. I'll show you. I don't know, it's just a service position, service mode, service, whatever you want to call it. All you're doing is just slotting the front end a few inches so that way you can get your arms down there and you can do what you got to do. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm Leekautorepair, and yeah, let's get straight to it. Alright, first things first, you can do whatever it is you want to do. But for me, is you want to get a couple screws that go into this shield, this cover, and there's also a bracket on the other end. But I already had this apart. But at least I'm letting you know what should come out. So I'm taking these 3 Torx out, and I believe it's T25. And I'm going to give y'all 2 detailed information and exactly where it's located at. If you can see from this angle, you should have a common sense of the location of where I am at with things. Because I realized a lot of people are like, people don't want to pay. Like, they'll pay other people to do the stupidest things and spending money on the stupidest things. But you don't want to pay nobody, a professional who can really do this. I'm giving you this work for free. It's what I'm saying. It's cost you nothing. It costs me time and costs you nothing. That's what I'm saying. So I ain't going to be giving everything to the T. If it's free, that's what type of free you get. You tipping, I'll give you everything. You feel me? Even though I said what I said, I'm still going to show you at least something. So I already talked about the Torx that you're going to get, that you're going to unscrew off from the side of the bracket. But if we look into here, let's see where the camera focuses at. Right there. Ooh, right in the center. Like literally right there. It's a 10mm bolt, so make sure you get in there with like a deep 10mm socket. I guess before the camera had got cut short, what I was saying is there's a 10mm nut. You want to use a deep 10mm socket, 1/4 inch, 3/8 if you want to. You can use 1/2 inch. I really don't care. You could use 3/4 inch. I still don't care. But you want to get deep in there, get the 2 nuts out, because you won't be able to get the bumper cover off, because them 2 nuts really keep it together, like really secure. So you need to make sure, take the nut off, and then once you get the Torx screws out, and then you got some screws at the bottom of the shield that you need to separate from the bumper. And once you got some other screws too on top. I'm gonna show you once we get those taken off, and you'll be able to take off the bumper cover. But really, you need to get these 2 bolts, might throw you off. Make sure you don't forget those. All right, next we got a few things to remove, like some Torx. And in this case, this car was missing some from the rip, like it was missing a Torx here. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure as a mechanic we got spare bolts laying around, right? Let's take this off. Come on. Don't be bashful. What we got? That screw right there. Oh, I remember. So this bracket over here had an issue. like it looked like the other end was spinning. So usually when you get situations like that because of rust, you find something else to take off. So I found some Torx to take off. It's like a bracket that goes on the side of the radiator itself. I'm not one of those Audi nerds. When I say an Audi nerd is a nerd who just knows every and anything you say wrong or whatever. So that makes him a nerd because clearly he just spends time in the dictionary defining parts of like Audi, which I don't have time to be doing all of that. So it looks like I think I got everything off. So after I get this bumper cover off, we're gonna separate the headlight. They need to come off. Alright, let me see if I can get this thing popping over here. So look like I got all the screws off. So just be careful. Gonna have to, don't do what I just did, but tug out a little bit. But you see this stud right here, you're gonna have to push it out of this hole over here. And the same applies for the other side. And then be careful not to let the bumper completely fall, because there is some fog light connectors and headlight connectors, or some connectors period, that you're going to have to disconnect. So what I like to do is, this is when my chair from Harbor Freight always come in handy. So I'm just going to get the other side real quick. Come on. We're not moving. Here we go. No, we're not out. I'm up here doing YouTube videos. I'm telling y'all what to take off. I didn't even take off this side. Give me 1 second. I forgot to take off that one nut I told y'all to take off. I'm all stupid. So make sure you get in here and separate some of these connectors. Like I see a connector look like for some type of sprayer, washer, nozzle, something, whatever. You know how they be like to have those headlight washers. And I hate these connectors. So with these connectors, I love to use a pick to pick it out, because it just seems safer. Even with GM connectors, it just seems safe to use a pick to separate it, if you can get inside of it. If I can get this one heifer. I just gave you a compliment and then turned around for you to embarrass me like that. Sorry, I'm talking to the car parts. I usually, because I work by myself, so I'm always going to be talking to somebody in here. Alright, let's separate it. Let's get the one last effort right there. So now, we got one more thing. So there's a clip right here for the washer thingy. Make sure you catch it and it don't flick up. You can get it out with your fingers. You don't have to use a pick. I don't know why I was going to do that. And you're going to be leaking the washer fluid, but in this case we already leaked out of this car, so I don't have to worry about that. So that separates just like that, and this front bumper cover is now free. Make sure you put it in a spot where it does not get damaged, and it is okay. Alright, so now that the front bumper cover is off, I did say we're going to have to remove these headlights. So there's 1, 2, 3 bolts holding it in, and then you also got a headlight connector you'll see once you pull it out. So let's get both of these headlights out. I know they're like, well, why he not showing me? Why he not showing me the bolt location? I'm not. Use your common sense. You wanna know why? Like I said, y'all ain't paying for it anyway. This is what happens when you get free information. You see, you pay me, I give you to the T. Shoot, I'll make you a whole DVD. And I'm also giving you a free lesson. I'm being an instructor too at the same time. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing that people are not grateful for on like YouTube. Remember that connector I was telling you about? So this one was pretty tricky because the tab on it was like suspect. So I believe I got in here with the pick, and you should do the same thing for the other side. So now we're almost into the service position. You're going to remove, these are 4 13mm, excuse me, I had to burp, bolts, and same applies for the passenger side. And then you got one 10mm nut. You can take all 4 bolts out and then leave that 10mm nut, because that's pretty much like your alignment, but at the same time, it'll keep everything from falling out. So, let's get it into the service position. You're going to need a long bolt. I do have a long bolt. I'll show you different size bolts you can use, but I do have something I had match up. So what you want to do is take a bolt out and go to the hardware store, and you're going to get a bolt probably like this long, enough for is however many inches you think you need to stick your arms in there. Just that's what size you get. But keep in mind, you still have things attached like the line for the condensers and the upper and lower radiator hose still connected, so you won't be able to move this out too far. The only thing is with this, you get like slack, whereas you got room to get in here and do what you got to do. If I was able to do the crankshaft pulley, the harmonic balancer doing this, then I'm telling you, you got more than enough room. Then this last one, I want to put this back in here. But actually, I can take it out because I don't need it, remember? Don't be like me. Crack the bolt free before you turn it. You got a bad habit. That's why my gun broke in the first place. And then, this is the long bolt I was telling you about. Stick that in there. And I at least thread it until I see it coming out the back end. At least I know it's in correctly. These bolts will bend a little bit. Obviously the front end is heavy, but that's just a little bit. And now I'm going to take this off. The 2 nuts. Let's put this right here. See how I'll drop down? Now, I should be able to move this front end. Oh, I got a couple more things to do. Like, so you need to separate these torques right here. This one right here. This one right here. You also, believe, take this welding stripping off, and then take the 2 on the opposite side. Make sure you put these screws and bolts where they're supposed to be. So now we could get some movement. Now take this air duct crap out. It's like annoying. Put that right on top. Whoa! Watch this. Whoa! So now we're gonna slide this forward. Oh, slides forward. And don't worry if you can't get it to completely slide. Remember, you got things still attached, but for the most part, I have wiggle room, and I'm going to show you down inside how much room I got. So now we can see in here, I got plenty of room. I was able to do this crankshaft pulley just like this in this position. I know the pulley harmonic balancer is pretty fat, but I was able to get in there because that's only held in there by some 8 torques, I think. And we got that out easily. But now I can do, I got room to get this crossover pipe out. So it already lost some coolant, so it looks like I'm just going to start taking these clips off, and it's like two bolts right here, 2 torques, and then the other 2 torques is, I believe, over here. I see it. So I'm gonna start working this bullshit off. Yep. Okay, so I was able to get some good progress. Let me put this other glove on, and then I'll pull the whole pipe out. The pipe is kind of a pain in the ass a little bit if you have no experience working on German cars. That's usually how it works. But usually this pipe like to crack in multiple spots, and we can see that a piece of it, it looked like it was already fragile. Looked like it's stuck inside of this thermostat housing. The other part I am going to pick out with a pick. Be careful, because if the thermostat, something happened to it, then I'll be having to replace the thermostat, which meaning I'll have to take off the supercharger, which is a pain in the ass. So looks like the gaskets was okay, but this integrity of this pipe is just throw that on the ground. So let me run to the parts store. I just wanted to show you guys like how to get it into the service position, and you probably want to know what you up against, but I don't feel like I don't need to film a job like how to replace the coolant pipe. There's a couple things you're gonna have to remove, like if I can get this light and maybe show you in a better, like there's a hose down in here. You're gonna get some nice clamps to get down in there, because that one is a kind of a pain in the ass. It's 2 screws, that 2 torques on this side and 2 torques on the other head that you're gonna have to get off. You also have to separate this hose assembly right here from off of this pipe coming off of the supercharger. It looked like some type of heat exchange type deal, and a couple other vacuum hose, and separate the upper hose, and there's a heater hose that's on that side, and you should be good to go. Coolant temp sensor comes out too. I took the whole entire sensor out, so that's right there. And if you want to get to your water pump, you have room to get to your water pump, which is very, very, very accessible. So I'm going to try to get my hole. I'll put my finger in here. So he did complain about a coolant leak, and I did see a little trail, but obviously we know where the leak was right here if it fell apart just like this. So here's the other half of that broken flange thingy jig I was telling you, and it looks like I'm good. I don't have to worry about the thermostat. It's not leaking, so I'm all good. Basically, I finished the job. The job is completed, is done. I had no leaks. So I guess you got any other questions, you just leave it in the comments as always. But I just wanted to show you guys how to get it in the service position. I kind of wanted to show you guys how to put the belts on, or how to replace the crossover pipe, but I felt like, I mean, they do got videos for this, so I didn't want to get in depth. And then two, I know it's gonna probably be like vlog related anyway, so I ain't gonna get too in depth anyway. So I don't know if you can see the sweat on me, but pero aquí hace calor, aquí hace calor, mucho hace calor, en serio. Pero ahora mismo voy a la ciudad porque tengo otro trabajo. Sí, I have another job in the city. So basically, I can't even think because it's so it's hot. I'm sweating. But let's just vlog. Let's just do that. I just grabbed the part, and let me sit this down so that way y'all can see me a little bit, I guess. So this is the whole pipe hole assembly. It does come with the seals and everything I need. So securely put this right there. And the cost of the pipe, it cost me, here it says $157, but I need to go stop at another store and go get some coolant, some cheaper coolant, because I don't like buying coolant from parts store nowadays. So I just take my ass to Walmart mainly and get the ones for like the German cars. This fluid, I believe, is like pinkish a little bit, but it's German stuff, so we know which one it needs. So this place is called Church's Auto Parts. It's located in Prospect Park, kind of close to the airport, Philadelphia Airport, near Essington. Those who don't know you from Philly, International Airport is not located in Philly, it's located in Essington. So I'm going to jump back on the highway. I'm going to head back home, and I'll show you what the store looks like if y'all curious. It used to be a small store. This is one of the bigger stores. They do have a few other stores that's bigger, and they used to have a small store way down there, but now I guess after the last 2 years or 3 years, or I don't know how many years they've been here now, this is a new building, and this is where I come to mostly. Basically, whenever I can't find a part, I usually I come down here because they seem to can get it. They seem to can get it is what I meant to say. And they also got other warehouses they like to get parts from. I know for a fact they like to use Worldpac. Everybody uses Worldpac, but that's good because Worldpac is pretty quick. If they can get it, they can get it. So let's head back to the shop. Alright, so I ended up finishing up the Audi. I know I was gonna, maybe I might have said a few things like I was gonna complete the job and then show y'all everything, but it ended up turning into a long vlog only because during the middle of the job I got a call saying that I got another car to fix. So I dropped the Audi off. Audi is to it's at its owner, at his crib, and I dropped it off in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. But right now, I'm gonna show y'all in a second. I'm in Norristown Transportation Center, and if you're from Philly or if you're from PA period, you've probably been here, but this is where I guess you come here like a little depot for the buses and the trains and trolleys or whatever they got. So I'm waiting on my Uber, and my Uber is coming maybe in the next 5 minutes, and that's going to take me directly where I need to. So I like to come here maybe at a middle point sometimes because it's cheaper as far as Uber fare, so stay tuned. Alright, so I'm waiting on, I guess, a white Honda Accord. It didn't say which year. I guess the picture looks similar to the one I got. So I guess any minute, maybe it's gonna come from, looks like it's gonna come from over here maybe. Could be wrong. So, looks like he's here. Thank you for picking me up.
Certainly, man.
It's hot.
It is hot. Let's make it a little more comfortable for you.
Thank you. Your name, is it like a Spanish name?
No, it's Iranian.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Ali Reza.
Okay, I thought you like spoke Spanish or something.
Yeah, sounds.
Okay.
Sounds that way. People are more familiar with Alejandro rather than Ali Reza.
Yes. So I'm back at the garage, and now I got my work truck. I did load up my work truck with some tools, my jack, my creeper, because I'm going to be doing a water pump on the 2011 Kia Sedona. I believe that got a 3.5 in it, and doing a water pump on that. And then I got to do like some brake pads and rotors, which is fairly easy. So I need to make sure I got my scanner in here too, my big one, because for some reason I don't never like going nowhere without my big scanner, my bi-directional scan tool, because I may get like a job or something that I could quickly diagnose or something I can quickly do with the scan tool. So I always keep that handy with me. So let me take this drink, and then I'm gonna jump on the highway, then we're going back to the city again.